we are actually going to be on YouTube this one. Yeah, that's what I've got set up. Well, let's see if I can pull that up here in just a minute. And my apologies for those of you watching. It's called The Factory Begins. No, that's a... The Factory Begins, Satisfactory, yep. Alright, so... see how this goes. So... Yep, so for those of you just checking this out, my name's Phoenix, also known as Chaos Dragon 90. With me today is someone I've met from across the pond. Mr. Cypher, the vice... yes. Yep, it's going to be Cypher, vice, I recall correctly, the vice air marshal for the Chairforce, if I'm not mistaken. And he's... Copy that, but yes, he is someone else that... but he is Cypher. So he'll be joining me on a dive into Satisfactory. Those of you not familiar with it, it's a game that's recently released, actually just Tuesday, from the studio CoffeeStain Studios. 8 years in development, 5 years in early access. Well, let's find out what it's like. Got here, and I'm sure I got everything up and running. But we are about to jump into a dedicated server called the Chairforce. And where are we going to end up with this, we'll find out. But... yes, this is what... not today, no. Oh, Lord. Yes. Well, might be just a tad bit to your nose then, if you can figure out the direction. I may be pink, but I'm definitely... I may be pink in this round, but I'm a little bit less green than some might think. So, for those of you wondering, this is one of the 4 starting biomes in this game of Satisfactory. It is a not super advanced start, but it is going to be where we start this run. And we're going to see if we can rise from the ashes of Planetfall, getting dropped here, and we're going to see if we can get a few burgers going here. Come here, you're my bacon. Yeah, and unfortunately we have this individual known as Meta that we're going to be listening to from Fix It. Oh boy. Which is worse, eh? Yeah. 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 So, first things first. And all we really need is the wood. We can, but for those of you watching, I'll warn you now, you can do this. But just because you can do just about anything in this factory building automation game that's pretty sandbox, there are some things you can't... I see I'm going to have to go leg it on over to him to help him out. Oh, I see. Yes, well, this is... Yep, so what we're going to be doing starting out is we're going to be definitely collecting quite a few things here. We don't need these things right now, but as I'm sure Cypher's probably got everything, we need to start automating all the things. Unfortunately, as the military would be familiar, this is lots of hurry up and wait. We're going to be getting a few ingots here to get a few parts. Oh, and what is that? Oh, dear Lord. And the ego shows itself true. Yeah, but they also don't have the experience in this game, probably, I would imagine. But with that said, though, I've got with my 6,000, just over 6,000 hours of experience playing the game in its early access. I've picked up a few tricks that Cypher hasn't yet seen me pull off, and we've played a little bit together previously. But well, this secret might drive you slightly up a wall, Cypher. You might need something stronger than tea to deal with me after this. Maybe. Yeah. 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 Yes, and yeah. And you'll see it from about halfway across the map, at least. That's the idea, but, it's also known to some of us as a space elevator. So, unfortunately, space station might be cool, but I think the space elevator it's bigger. It's bigger, it's better, more in your face. Yes, so that is one thing that we're going to try and get to today. But in order to do that, we're going to need copious amounts of power to power the machines we need to get the parts we need for that. So, with that said, and I'm going to run and grab some more wood to get some more proper biomass in place. And That's one of my. That's one of. Yeah. Yes. Unfortunately, we can't show you the intro. We were under contract by Fix It. We can't share that. You want to see that? I suggest you check out the thing. Yeah. Yes, but that is the company, the fictional company that you as a pioneer are working for. So. Yeah, Cypher's a little behind the times. He's he's kind of from way back in the day, so he has quite a bit of line of. I've got one down on iron already, so we'll see if we can't get that going. So we can get some on limestone, get some on copper, get a couple more on iron. So actually, we should be able to start doing. So. They should be. Yeah, it's yeah. um. Yes. So you are gonna see me and Cypher especially. You're gonna see us. You're gonna see us definitely. Which right now consists of gathering up these bits of wood because. Not quite sure about that one, but we'll see. I think it's time. I think it's about time you demonstrated your parkour skills, Cypher. And there is also just about any different way to do just about anything here in the game, whether it's providing power, whether it's manufacturing parts, or traversing the world. And speaking of traversing the world, you gotta run. Yeah, or so, aka the Cypher way of doing things. And we're gonna run across these. Luckily, for those of you who are less. And more to the point, while Cypher still has the creature hostility set to the default, which means that they will attack you. If you're not someone who wants to hurt the you don't have to hurt you don't want to have to hurt the creatures. You can set them to passive, where they will not attack you even if you attack them, or you can set up where you have to attack them first. So, like I said, this game has been in development for 8 years and has been early access for about 5. And just this past Tuesday, dropped into its early access. So we're going to see how far me and Cypher here can get in about an hour. But there may or may not be... Yeah, proper English by what definition of proper? I wouldn't exactly call the British definition exactly proper. Yeah, you see what I gotta work with here, guys? Yep. Oh Lord. So if you are offended by the so if you have an issue with the color pink, blame Cypher. So that is once we're gonna try and get for this little introductory stream, which will be, depending on how things work out, will probably be every Saturday around noon, U.S. Central Time. We will be going for about usually a couple hours. Do this one just as a introductory, and we're gonna see what we can come up with in an hour. Yeah. Now, that said... Yep, so... So, for purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit more limestone here, get some concrete going. And I do apologize if my stream is... Oh, I can run over here and grab the iron. And just a warning, folks, you may see me and Cypher argue about some things, but you'll see they actually work out pretty well. First things first here is going to be actually going to work on getting the some of the milestones done for the hub. I think the simplest one to start with is going to be with base building, I think. It's probably going to be the easiest one to start on. Because that it does. Foundations and walls. Yeah. Yeah, notice that's why he got shipped from Earth to this alien planet with me. I caused a bit too much trouble with some certain technologies. Yeah, I've yeah, and then, well, he got... Unfortunately, he got stuck with this crazy American who actually knows a thing or two about the technology we're using. This is not my first rodeo with Fix-It. But, yeah. Well. Yeah. Yep, just hogging all the fun, huh? And for those of you more accessibly challenged, and for those more accessibility challenged, you can hit the space bar at the workbench and literally just, I can simply say, I'm making ironing. It's, hey mom, no fit, no hands on this one, and it just keeps going. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Unfortunately, of course, with the hub, you can only have one toilet, which is at least now now that Satisfactory is 1.0, is at least can be flushed. Unless, of course, then you've got these goof folks. Yeah, surprisingly enough, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, well. One other thing to note. One of the tips and tricks for me is actually going to be going into something once I get these ingots all up and ready. Is, yes, you do have to make, you can throw biomass burners. They're basically high-tech campfires. You've got everything from leaves, wood, alien remains, alien protein, processed bacon from this fungus as well, and it will provide you power. And it will give you up to 30 megawatts of power. Now that key phrase there is up to. Biomass burners are the only self-regulating power source in all of Satisfactory. And they each one that you build freestanding provides you up to 30 megawatts per burner. But they scale their fuel consumption and their power production depending on how much capacity you have versus how much you're actually using. We'll get to see a bit of that here in a minute. Once I get these ironing, it's all forged up for us. Or what did you do this time, Cypher? Yeah. Well, then maybe he's keeping. Maybe he's been keeping his butt to the grindstone. Then maybe. Okay, so we have a small inventory that will get built up over time. But for those of you wondering, yes, keep the point of biomass burners. Excuse me. The I may have a few reputation in a few Discord servers out there, namely the brewery, that well, I have a bit of a reputation when it comes to biomass burners, especially in early access. Uh, well, he's not exactly wrong from a gaming perspective. No, I'm more of a. I've been accused of making an excessive number of them, to which I argue there is no such thing as an excessive number of biomass burners. Nah. So. Something like that. No, just I had a few folks not be too happy with my deforestation efforts on alien worlds. So I had to hide the. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. And this becomes a lot less of a problem once we get to foundations, which will take a bit of time. But we've got our first third of our bits done for the unfortunately, knowing my luck, we will probably have Cypher below the power grid. So yeah, this is going to be. Yeah, we're just going to be burning through fuel like crazy. Because... yeah. Yeah, well, I like to do it once and get moving on with business. I'm going to go ahead and give Cypher a little bit of a hand here. And once I get some basic materials in place. Because you start out, especially when if you do the tutorial, the onboarding intro from Satisfactory. You don't start with any of the tools that we've had access to already, and you're starting from literally ground zero. That is the tutorial, yeah. You can't just ping for things. You just do that. So. Or we have the diffy, depending on what script you're talking about, yeah. Talking the hopefully by the end of the series, if this becomes a series, we will hopefully get Tim to know his lefts from his rights. We'll see. Cypher will know his lefts from his rights. But you are going to be seeing a lot of this, and so just to make our fuel production, our fuel a little last a little longer, I am working right now to give us a bit more power than just 40 megawatts with the two biomass burners we have on the back of the hub. I'm actually going to try and drop 10 down. Hopefully before the end of the stream. Like I said, today is probably going to be just an introductory thing. I'm going to drop 10 biomass burners down to start with. Yeah. So this is the thing that has been changed in 1.0 is that the biomass burners can be belt fed. Used to be, but you couldn't do that. Now you can. So that will make life a little less comfortable. Where for leaves, when you convert leaves into biomass, which burn more, less quickly than raw materials, leaves take 10 leaves in to a constructor and shoot out 5 biomass. So you get half that. Whereas wood, you put 4 wood in, and you get 20. Forgive the definition of you. Arguably, yes. Although if you choose to be crazy, you can definitely. And we'll have to see. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. One of which is actually going through the intro. So, and well, think you bang out a few rods and plates by chance? So while he's got the automation running for us, or at least semi-automation, I'm working to get the parts I need specifically to get our production for these biomass burners down. So what that... Yes, I've already got all the wire I need for them, and I'm working on getting the plates now. Or rods now, actually. And would certainly take them. That certainly does. That is definitely usually the plan. Yes, but it's going to be, it's only going to get worse for some folk. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I didn't say nothing about it being worse. So we'll see how this goes. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, so we are subject to the day and night schedule. We will try to keep this as light, enlightened as possible for y'all. Well, we have these things called flashlights, so we can see. I was hungry. I ate it. Yeah, well, this is reasons I particularly choose to run in this, and this will not be one of those like. So we have a bit more biomass to go, and we are already burning through some of it, but we're burning through less of it. like I said, folks, we'll see if we can help him with his sense of direction here. hopefully before he drops himself down some hole and finds all the spiders in the world just to say hi to. Oh lordy, that was an adventure and a half to let. It is a feature, but I think just for the purposes of completeness sake, we will be dropping. Oh jeez. Oh boy. Yes, this is going to be fun. Yes, it's very shiny, but also very much useful for our purposes going down the line here. Let's see right here. But hopefully after I get these miners down, we'll be able to start dropping some, or finish getting these burners hooked up and everything. We'll be able to alright, there's all the rods needed. And we'll go ahead and drop these in here. So we'll get that done. Last thing we need is we need to get a constructor for these. Alright, let's go need a reinforced iron plate with some cable and a connection to a power source. Okay. Tick tock. Where you at, Cypher? Take care of the pup. And there we go. We've got the reinforced iron plate. And we're going to go ahead and lay down a constructor. Put a storage bin. And where's that go flat? Eh. Okay, and we have wire. Is there any wire on you, good sir? Or do I need to go fish? Thank you for the help, good sir. Yeah, well, us Americans also have the understanding that pork is the point. Okay, yeah, oh Lord, you had to go there, Cypher, didn't you? For those curious, no. Okay, so we have the biomass bonus. We'll be getting our power grid will now officially be much lower. Well, it's certainly more open. You got more room to build stuff with. So. Yep. I'm already working on that, actually. It's also... I don't know what kind of concrete you're cooking up. I'm constructing my concrete. Clearly. I'm sorry, folks. He hasn't had after. Yeah, it's one of the nearest nodes we've got. There's 2 impure nodes near here, which, for those wondering on the math, that means that if I were to put an automated miner instead of these portable miners, we'd be getting about 30 limestone per minute. Unfortunately, constructors require 45 per minute to keep going at 100%. Normal nodes will give you on a Mark 1 automated miner will give you 60, and pure nodes will give you 120. There's 3 tiers of miners. They each double that base, so you can get all the way up to 240 with a Mark 3 miner, which is very late game. And before they dropped 1.0, you could not actually fully utilize a pure node with a Mark 3 miner. Little thing that we can discover, which give me a second here to get a bit of a running start at this, is go ahead and grabbing that there nice glowing thing, which I believe, if I recall correctly, is a power slug. Now, what these little buggers can do... Yes. Yeah. We'll just delete Ada for what Ada says in this regards to these things for your own playthrough for those interested. Yep. For the moment, going to do... Oh, that's right, I don't have any... We'll have to get the concrete going. And the space elevator unlocks. I just dropped in 51 from the... I got 10 right now. But you'll see a lot of people play single player. They'll be you can play this single player, or you can play this multiplayer. As Cypher mentioned earlier, this can be a cooperative game. And they have dedicated servers out. So instead of someone having to enter into your computer, they can enter. You can have a dedicated server set up for. All right, we got our first big red button. Now, how will this will take? Or so she claims. Yeah, but we have that done, and while we can't do anything else to defeat it, we can go ahead and select our next milestone so we can start getting the parts for that once it's ready, once it comes back. Which, in the top right, you'll see is We have foundations, yes. In theory. We have... There are those out there, there are big names out there who've been doing content creation on YouTube, on Twitch, for Satisfactory for nearly the life of its time in early access. One would be Total Eclipse, and for those who... but there are a few out there. Total Eclipse, they're very neat, very tidy. Drawing Chaos, very artistic with builds, which is something that you can also do if you apply your the mechanics with your knowledge. And then there is one that gives me a bit of a headache every now and then. And his name is Let's Game It Out. Let's just say if you like chaos, yeah, but yeah, him and his tornado of belts and pipes and yeah, trust me. If I'll tell you this much right now, folks, if you're OCD, don't watch his videos. that is the fastest way to have yourself completely lose your ever-loving mind. They are online and their original states. So we'll see if we can't get to... yes. And yes, yes. Again, let's game it out, just to be as an example. If he uses a foundation, if he uses the roll grid, I'll be surprised. That too. But right now I'm just needing a bit more of the way around. tonight, but yeah, we started at noon Central Time, and it's now 12:55. Yep, so in this case we got access to Splitter. Yep. So now we have the ability to do splitters, mergers, and the like, which for the purposes of our biomass burners here will make life a lot less complicated, because now we're gonna have belting to go. Belting going on. Let's see here. Who knows? But yeah, so our first objective here will be to kind of get semi-automated power. And you're going to see us pull this off through a couple of different techniques. Like I said, there's a few things you'll see kind of going on. May drive a few people crazy. And that will be for a future episode on that front. Gotta give someone a reason. We've got this going, so we'll go ahead and, like I said, you'll probably see these streams going about every 2 hours on the during all Saturdays, about noon Central Standard Time in the U.S. But that is unfortunately all we kind of do have for today. So you'll kind of see this